Welcome back. I'm in my south facing garden and today is eviction day. The reason it's an eviction day is because I'm tired of mollycoddling plants. I'm not very good at mollycoddling plants for a long time, and the plants that I've left outside as an experiment have been doing absolutely fine. I know that where I am in Kent, our last frost date is supposed to be in April. It's still a little bit chilly, but it's been working fine. So today I'm saying, tomatoes, get out there and do your work. Do whatever you need to do. And I've looked at the temperatures, and from this coming weekend, the temperatures are not dropping below 10 degrees at the weekend. So a few days before doesn't matter. I've done it before. I've always taken my tomatoes out around between the 10th and the 15th. Today I'm going a little bit earlier because I don't know why, but I'm going a little bit earlier because let me show you why. So right in front of me here are my Constoluto Fiore. That's an Italian word, which I actually put outside. And look at this. My Turkish aubergine as well is doing fine. I left them outside last night. They haven't died. And what's this one? This one is a large barred tomato as well. It was left outside as well. Oh, it smells nice. And they did absolutely fine. I've not had any problems with them. So for me, that's the message that it is time to come out, especially since some of these are starting to flower, which is amazing. So I haven't read up about whether or not these are determinate or non-determinate tomatoes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I put them in their beds and they can try and fight their way back to life and survival. The other ones that I have are here. Let me show you. Up there. I left this one outside, and this one has actually been outside for quite a long while. This one here. And this actually hasn't even been, it's a large barred boar, and that has been absolutely fine living here. So that one is going to go out as well. The other ones that have stayed outside since I bought them are the Sun Gold and the Tumbling Tom, and they're doing absolutely fine. So to me, that tells me that even if it's a little bit chilly, my tomatoes will survive. Additionally, I have tomatoes at the allotment which have been outside, and they're doing fine. These babies here need to get to the allotment because I need a little bit of sweet pea at the allotment, so I need to get them there as soon as possible. But anyway, let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing. So what we're going to do is we're putting out these tomatoes, and they're going to go into the pots. It's exciting, and we shall see how they do. So I'll start by putting out the ones that are already out. My aim is to have just one of each plant all the way through my tomato alley. I don't want to have more than one plant because it's not necessary. And then if they produce shoots, I can take them off and take them to the allotment, with the expectation is they may not do as well as the blight-proof ones I've got there, but they will survive. All right, let's get on and do that. Okay, the first plant to go in is going to be the large barred boar, and it's going into that corner over there. I've noticed that in this bed here, the garlic is almost central, but we'll work around it. So let me first put this one in. Looks like I've got nasturtium coming up in here as well, so, and that's fine by me. This tomato has actually been under my new lights, which are, what are they? I have to think in my head. Oh yeah, they are bulbs, plant bulbs, and as you can see, it hasn't grown tall. The lights are fantastic. The plants love them. They're all thriving under them, so I'm really happy with the result of that. So it might result in another baby there, but yeah, so definitely I would recommend those light bulbs for plants. They're fantastic. I think what I will do is I'll take off these bottom ones for now. I'm not going to allow side shoots in the first few sections until it's well established. So I'm going to plant it down into the soil right up until about here, I think. Let me see. Actually, no, it's just going to sit flush as it was, but I'm leaving this area clear so that there's no splashback. The roots on this have started coming out of there, so that's a good thing. See, look at that. Happy, happy, happy tomato. I keep cutting myself and hurting myself on these things, so I'm trying to be a little bit better with them, but that's not a guarantee. I seem to have a potato in here, which I'll need to take out and plant elsewhere. There we are. First tomato of the year is in. Tell me, that's a large barred ball. So I'm going to put the constoluto or whatever it's called in here for now. And I need to dig quite deep to make sure that I get it quite low down in there. Or do I take off the soil and try and bury it that way? And let's see what I can do. I think I'll take some of this soil off, because I've noticed that the plants I put into this compost are not as happy as the plants in my other compost. So we can take off some of the compost and we'll bury it with just its roots. Oh wow. Well, that tells me. Let's stand you here. That was a quick root down. You haven't been in there, you've just been in there a week. Let me take out as much soil as that pot and put it back in this pot, ready for something else. Just making sure I bury this tomato plant without disturbing the garlic, which is already in here. And tomato and garlic do well together, so it's not going to be a bad thing. Right. Da-da-da-da. Oh, I need to widen it a little bit more. This one is going to get a support. One of these. And then the soil I've taken out is going to go into there. And this soil, which I took out of there, is also going to go in here. Oh, where's my label? Oh, there it is. I need to rewrite this on my label printer because these do not last. Two tomatoes in. Okay guys, next lot of tomatoes. I've got a pork chop which is struggling in there because I keep forgetting to water them because they're drinking so much. So we're going to have a pork chop in here. And then rotcapture. I'm sure this is a, oh god, every time these tomatoes meet each other they do this. Rotcapture. So I think that one is supposed to be a smaller tomato plant, so it's going to go in here. And then this one is a Heinz. I'm looking forward to seeing what these are like. I think I'm going to put the Heinz in here. Let me see what else I've got. It's so exciting. Tomatoes are going in and I have spares. Okay guys, what I'm going to do is I'm planning to move this one further down the other end because I want to put everything against the fence for now, where they'll get a little bit more protection from the winds on either side. Well, logically in my head it works. I hope you know what I mean, but let's get on and finish putting these babies in. Okay, this is the pork chop. Let's first take this out. My chamomile died. This is why I don't like things that you can't direct sow, because I'm not very good at looking after them. I'm too busy working sometimes to worry about looking after plants. I think I'll put it towards the back and move my hay out of the way. This works really, really well to keep the soil very wet, and I like it for that. I need a container to put this soil into. Found one. take a little bit of soil. This time it's not a lot because the plant is in a cup. Oh, there. And it's all nice and moist in there, so it will be happy once it's in there. Okay, now where is the pork chop? I think this is the pork chop. They were getting really dry in there. So I think I need to put it a little bit deeper. So let's dig it down a little bit more so I can bury it, part of the stem, so that it can root out beautifully in here. As you know, guys, these are my self-watering systems that I set up for my tomatoes. Each of them has a 4 liter, what's it called? 4 liter reservoir. So I don't have to worry about constantly having to water them. There we go. Nice root system again. Let me take this off. And this side shoots before they decide to become babies and tempt Stella. And as you know, I don't like killing off any plant that decides it wants to grow. So let's put this in. Okay. I'll give them all a little bit of a water in, despite the fact that they're on a self-watering system, just for encouragement's sake. And then I'm putting this back, and as I've been learning and reading, I'll be taking these bottom leaves off. In fact, I can take this leaf off because it's too close to the ground, so you have circulation around, and that stops any disease. And then I'm going to put one of the halos, the tomato halos, on it, and try not to break the remaining branches of the poor pork chop. I have to be gentle. This is like surgery. Delicacy for delicate plants. The halos themselves will actually provide a little bit of a protection for them as well, because of the fact that the stem will be underneath there. So this is great. Okay, pork chop done. Now what we're doing next, I think we'll do this one, which is the Heinz. Because everyone has been going on about them, I decided to give it a go and see whether or not I'll like it. So, and I got loads of them. They germinated absolutely fantastic without a problem. So we've got Heinz next. Oh my god, it's a little bit chilly, as you can see. I've actually got a vest in and I've had to put on my jacket, but I'm still out putting poor tomatoes out, poor things. I wonder if anyone else has put their tomatoes outdoors, because most people are putting them into polytunnels and the like, but Stella is putting it into her outdoor south-facing garden with confidence. I laugh at myself sometimes, but I believe plants are stronger than we think, and therefore I trust that they'll be fine. If they're not, it will be a lesson learned, but I believe they will be absolutely fantastically fine. So should I put the I was going to say, should I put the halo on first, and then I decided against it because it's more finicky that way. It's quite windy today. There we are. Heinz is in, and until it grows a bit taller, I'm going to leave it without the halo, because these leaves are right on the bottom, and despite what I said about getting rid of excess leaves, it hasn't got that many. So let's leave it with these leaves for now, and hopefully later on it will do. When it grows taller, I can actually put more. I can actually cut off the bottom leaves and then put the halo on. But we need to put this cup in here to identify this, and I'll need to stake them in to make sure they don't fly away with the wind. So this is a Heinz. Right, what's next on my list? This one. Hold on, let me get it. It's behind you. My Rotkäppchen. This, I think, let me just double check, because I'm sure this is a patio sized tomato, and if it is, I can put it in a smaller pot. So I need to go check this out before I put it in. So let me put that there. I'll go try and find the information I need. What I'm trying to find out is how big does it grow? What kind of container do I need to put it in? And is it likely to spread too far?
That's right. Rock caption translates to Little Red Riding Hood. It's a charming name for a tomato. Let's get down to your questions. Size. Rot caption is a dwarf or micro-dwarf variety of tomato. This means it stays quite compact, typically reaching a height of only 40 to 55 centimeters, 16 to 22 inches. Its growth habit is described as a bush type or determinate, meaning it grows to a certain size, sets all its fruit around the same time, and then stops growing taller. Container size. Given its compact size, rot caption is very well suited for container growing. A pot with a minimum diameter and depth of 20 to 25 centimeters, 8 to 10 inches, should be sufficient for a single plant. However, if you want to encourage slightly larger plants, and potentially a bigger harvest, a 30 centimeters, 12-inch pot would be even better. Make sure the container has good drainage holes. Spreading. As a determinate, bush-type tomato, rot caption is not prone to spreading far. It will grow in a relatively contained, bushy form. You won't have long, sprawling vines like some indeterminate tomato varieties. This makes it an excellent choice for smaller spaces like balconies and patios. You generally don't need to prune suckers, the small shoots that grow in the armpits of the plant, on determinate tomatoes. While staking isn't always necessary due to its size, you might find it helpful to provide a small stake or support when the plant is heavily laden with fruit to prevent the stems from breaking.
Okay guys, I've got the information I need, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it at the bottom end. It tells me exactly where I can put it and let it grow safely without worrying about it spreading too far and being overwhelming in the position I put it in. So that's helped me decide. I use Gemini all the time when I'm actually wanting to find out information about my plants, and it is fantastic for giving me information on spacing and everything else that I'm interested in. So let's move down to the other side in order that we can actually get the rot caption in. So I've learned something new. Rot caption means Little Red Riding Hood. It's going to have companionship because I've got my garlic and my celery, which has been growing for years. I'm going to ask this question again. How long does celery grow for before you need to get rid of it and start a fresh one? Because this has been growing for years and it never flowers, it just keeps going. Do I need to cut it right back to get fresh, new, fantastic seed or not? Thank you so much in advance. Oh Lord, it's cold, cold, cold. I apologize for sniffing, but this seems to be the way of things. So I don't know if anyone else is being as brave as I am. If you're wondering where I am, I'm in Kent. We tend to be about 2 degrees colder than London most of the time. So this is very brave of me, but I'm faithful and trustful in the fact that these tomatoes are going to do fine. Right, there we are. Put the mulch back down. This is straw bedding, horse bedding, straw horse bedding. And then I'll put the halo on. Although they say that I don't need to sport it, the halo will provide it with a little bit of warmth and protection for now. So my other tomatoes are indoors. They've been living the life of Riley, having a great time of it. So what I will do is I'll bring them outdoors to replace the ones that have been in the greenhouse. And then when they've acclimatized, they're going in as well. So this weekend they'll be going in as well. So the back alley of my tomato alley is done. I've left Alice's Dream in the greenhouse for now because Alice's Dream is a little bit over precious. A lot of them died, and so I'll put them in at the weekend rather than now. But for now, I'm happy. Right guys, I've got one more tomato to plant, and that's the pink ball. Once the pink ball is in, I'm done with the first row of tomato alley. I've just noticed that was empty, so the pink ball is going to come and go in there. I apologize for the sniffing, guys. I blow my nose, I start the video, I sniff again. Can't be helped. I do apologize. The planter is there to stop the cat from looking at this as an open space. I'll probably put a little barrier around, all the way around, because even if it's just stone, it's still trying to come and poop in my stones. So it's a thing of habit. weeds lie on top. Okay, let's put the pink ball here, and we're going to do the same. This one I'm digging in deep because I'm assuming that the pink ball grows quite big. I probably need to add a bit more straw to this bed because it hasn't got as much as the other ones. I must have been exhausted by the time I got to here, and I've got a wicking membrane here that has not been used. So I like to put the tomatoes at the back of the pots in order that I can actually support them, and also it means I can plant other things at the front, like this onion which is sitting at the front of it. The soil is so beautiful in these pots, honestly. With the self-watering systems, the soil never clumps up. It stays beautiful and loose. I would recommend them to anyone with a small space. And grow so much in one of these pots. I got these from Home Base, and they're not that expensive. If I can, I'll try and find the price of them and put it up, but these were the cheapest pots I can get. They're even better than these 30-litre pots. Even if they narrow towards the bottom, they're still a very nice pot for growing tomatoes. I've grown tomatoes in these for years now, and they always give me a fantastic growing medium. This year, one of the things I'm planning to do better is to make sure that all my plants are well fed. Oh, it's a square, not a circle. So let me make this hole bigger. Yeah, so I want to make sure that all my plants are well fed throughout the season so that they can give me a maximum harvest. Right, this gives me an opportunity to put this cup and keep it held in. I'll get other stakes for the other cup. So my pink ball, I won't get other cups. I'll just make sure that I get back indoors and get those labels done. Push this down. Put it a little bit of so like that, because I think this one looks like it will need a halo. Push the halo through gently. Make sure I'm not killing my onion, which is sat in this bed with the tomato. And then fill the soil back in. Got a lot of building works around as usual. In the summer, that's the norm. So let's get a bit of straw in here and add to this one in the bed because the bed straw wasn't as great. I think something I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and direct sow some celery in some of these beds, because the celery I grew in the celery I grew in a pot did not do as well. So I need to get myself some more red celery because I'm very curious to see what it looks like and what it tastes like. Okay guys, I think we're done for today. Are you brave enough to put out your tomatoes right now in the UK and hope that they will succeed? Have a good one. Something else I've actually put in one of the beds by the sitting area is my Turkish aubergine. So the Turkish aubergine did well about, I think the year before last when I grew it. This time round I plan to harvest what I get from it, so it's gone in as well, and hopefully it will carry on doing fine.